Well, look who it is. It's been some time, SSS. How are your patrols going? Kilika. Ah, but where are my manners? The last time we met, it was under different circumstances. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Kilika Rorin, aide to the President of the Calvard Republic at your service. I have other responsibilities and titles, of course, but they're nothing worth mentioning. I suppose not. Would that include being an entertainment producer, like you mentioned before? It would, quite legitimately, in fact. It's just one of the many hats I don. There is, for that matter, a production company office back in the Republic as well. I see. In other words, there are no holes to poke in your story. She's a woman with a mask for every situation, and like any self-respecting spy, she knows how to use them. Hey, I like me a little mystique. What I wouldn't give to roleplay with her for just one night. Randy! That's one of those comments best kept to yourself, Randy. Care to share your conversation with the class, you three? Oh, that reminds me. A little birdie tells me that a little birdie invited you aboard the Arce yesterday. I beg your pardon? I should have expected you would already know. Jeez. How do your sources even get this stuff? Settle down. It isn't anything to fret over. I am curious, though. Did you hear anything of note? It was only some friendly advice, nothing more. There's still plenty we have to figure out for ourselves. Is that right? Well, the same could be said of myself. What? I was merely thinking out loud. I can envision as many scenarios as I'd like, but that doesn't mean any of them will come to pass. With so many conflicting motives, there's still much we don't know. That's true of everyone working here today. Will today be the day the first domino falls? Or is that juncture yet to come? Who can really say at this point in time? I think I understand what you're getting at, but still. Either way, she's right on the Mira. The only thing I'll add is that my role today is nothing more than that of a presidential guardian and keeper. In that sense, you could almost consider us as colleagues. Let's say we put aside our allegiances and simply watch how today unfolds. She's trying the same thing on us that we tried on Lecter. Beyond that, I have no further comments to make for the moment. Fair enough. Thanks for the information. I'm sure you have much you'd like to discuss, but for now, let's watch and see how things proceed. Given that we're both tasked with security today, our duties aren't all that different from each other. Okay. Conference appears to be going well, better than a typical Republican Parliament session anyway. The president has to be relieved he's not dealing with the opposing party today. You must be the special support section they have on patrol today. Thank you very much for your service. Let us know if there's anything we can do to make your job easier. You're the special support section, correct? I heard you assisted His Lordship Prince Albert yesterday. Not at all. If anything, he was the one who helped us. That's right, His Lordship's medical knowledge was tremendously useful. Is that so? To his credit, the Grand Prince is an excellent doctor in his own right. Details aside, I can say with confidence that His Lordship was both extremely pleased and impressed with all of you. I'm glad to have the opportunity to meet the men and women he spoke so highly of. Our pleasure, my man. We appreciate your kind words. What a nice little interaction because we did that hidden quest. Today's trade conference is of great interest to those of us from Memifaria. I'm hoping it leads to further economic development back home. There are so many people I have to talk to. The first half of the conference is scheduled to conclude at 3 p.m. Of course, that could change slightly depending on how things go inside. The conference is currently in session. If you'd like to observe, you can do so from the gallery on the next floor. The conference is finally underway. If terrorists really do attack, we can only guess what they'd be after. Regardless, we all have our assignments from the security command room, and you can be sure we're going to do them. There's so many people in here. Who are you? You have a character portrait. And you look familiar. I've been a nervous wreck all day. Who are you? She's Toa Herschel from the Cold Steel series. Is she in... She's in the first one, right? Because that's the only one I've played. And even then, it's been like a decade. She is in the first one? Huh, what an interesting person to run into here. But I can't let this opportunity go to waste, especially after all Prince Oliver's done for the Academy. Most importantly, I'm here as representative of the... Okay, you're here for the school. I've got to pull myself together and chip in. What's a girl in a school uniform doing here? I did hear that a student was going to be accompanying the Imperial government to the conference. Supposedly, they're hoping to gain some real-world experience. Being one of the best and brightest of their academy, this must be her. Dang. And here I was thinking someone just couldn't find a babysitter. She's not originally in this game, one of the recon... Oh. Lloyd is like, Toa, will you ever join us? Just like Una Crawford? Yes. Give me people. Was Una Crawford also a retcon, since you said that her siblings in Zero were? Somehow I get the feeling she and I would have a lot to talk about. Oh? She has to have skipped a grade or two, right? Well, you never know. That girl just might be around the same age as you and Lloyd. She seems like she's got a good head on her shoulders, so I guess she could be older than she looks. Who knows? Ah, I'll find out then, I guess. It would be nice to get to know her, but we're a bit pressed for time today. Interesting. Very interesting. Good afternoon, everyone. If it isn't the special support section, I take it you've been securing the conference floors for everyone? That's right. We managed to eke out an assignment as part of the security. So this room is where they've stashed all the big guns, is it? Metaphorically speaking, of course. I bet every last person in here's a ranking officer. Correct. By all accounts, this room alone could prevent a major incident. Absolutely. Not to mention Senior Captain Schwartz's swordsmanship. I've heard it's as fearsome as it is elegant. You are far too kind. It's nothing so extraordinary. That being said, no matter what happens, no one will lay so much as a finger on Her Highness. I swear it. Trust us to protect the conference room, and we will trust you to keep watch over the other floors. Of course, thank you. As members of the Royal Guard, it's our sworn duty to protect Princess Claudia by any means necessary. Rest assured that security here is in good hands. Best of luck with the rest of your patrols. It's good to see you again, Major Vander. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary yet? Ah, hello there, SSS. It's hardly enough reason to let our guards down, but things have been calm thus far. Even the discourse of the conference itself has been civil. I'm admittedly impressed by how smoothly things are going. If the conference continues to go well, that will at least alleviate some of the stress on the prince's shoulders. Is everything okay, Major Vander? You seem to have a lot on your mind. I suppose you could say that. In a sense, we've only come this far because of the seeds he chose to sow. But never mind that. What matters most right now is our duties at the conference. I have a role to play as the prince's escort, just as I'm sure you all have your own, keeping the conference secure. Right, that much is for certain. I'm here to serve as the prince's escort. As such, I will observe the conference until its conclusion, the way any military officer in my shoes would. You all have your own duties to fulfill. Don't let me keep you from them. Any loud noises you make in this room will carry over next door and disrupt the conference. As such, we ask that you remain as quiet as possible while you're here. You must be the special support section. Thank you for your service today. As you can see, there's nothing out of the ordinary to report here. If you have no particular business, I would ask that you not loiter in this room any longer than needed. Sure thing. Rather blunt, isn't he? Like a pistol whip to the face. They must be Osborne's people. Everyone else's people are nice. One more floor to go. Hello, Grace. Good to see you, SSS. Hey, if it isn't Lloyd and Company. Feels like we've been waiting forever for this trade conference to kick off, doesn't it? Yes. It's the main event of all main events. Crossbell's leadership and representatives from 4 nearby countries in a bonanza of international discourse. And of course, a big to-do like this demands a prime-time venue. Orcus Tower, the continent's first true skyscraper. Can you feel it? The nerves in the air? I'm so tense that my heart's about to jump out of my chest. I definitely see the tension, but honestly, you don't look the least a bit nervous to me. Nautica or Noticia, maybe, is the news in Portuguese or Spanish. I don't remember what it is in Italian, to be honest. I suspect the nerves are coming less from her and more from her future prospective victims/interviewees. Tio, you're back, and you brought that trademark snark along with you too. I'll admit I'm not so much anxious as I am giddy, but enough about that. There's someone I want to introduce you to. Meet... How do I want to say her name? Noticia? If it were Italian, it'd be Notizia. But I'm gonna say Noticia. Noticia, this is the special support section. Nice to meet you. I've seen you all in the papers before. You look like an even finer team in person. So in Spanish, her name is just Reporter News. She just is a news reporter. That's funny. I'm Noticia, a reporter from the Liberal News. Thanks for keeping us all safe for the day. Happy to be of service. I've heard of the Liberal News Service. It's the largest publication in the kingdom. That's right. They've also been getting a lot of attention in the journalism world for another reason. 2 of their own reporters were awarded the Pulitzer Prize last year. Tio's name is Uncle Plate in Spanish. It is in Italian too. It's very funny. Or close enough. The Pulitzer would technically be Zio, but Tio, Zio, same thing. Isn't that the prize that Nielsen person won a few years back? It's given to the continent's most outstanding journalist every year, if I remember right. It does make you wonder how they picked their names, though. In a world that's so heavily based on, like, German, Italian, French, and Spanish, that they chose these names. Anyway, The latest recipients are a duo by the names of Neil Burns and Dorothy Hyatt. Niles are ace reporter and Dorothy's a brilliant camerawoman. So the kingdom took home the crown last year, huh? 2 guesses as to what the prize-winning story was. Could it have been about the strange phenomenon that happened in Liberl around that time? Right again. Though technically everything they covered leading up to the incident factored into the decision too. I see. They sound very impressive. Yeah, I guess so, but that doesn't mean we'll just lie down and let them outshine us. It's every reporter's dream to win the Pulitzer Prize at least once in their career. And if you want to win the next one, then you better get the best scoop you can each and every day, especially this one. You got that, Rhines? We can't let any of those news hounds get the jump on us. Yes, ma'am. If Grace gets any more fired up, the orbital sprinkler system might go off. Let's hope she can behave herself at least. Grace, behave? So I take it Niall and Dorothy couldn't make it? That's right. They're on assignment in Calvard, so they wouldn't have gotten here in time. Things are a little touch and go over there right now. Yeah, I'll bet. It's got something to do with those radical nationalists they've got running around, right? Word is the Republican government is concerned about them making a move during the trade conference. Well, look at you. Guess that press pass of yours isn't just for show, is it? I've heard the same, though there's no evidence of their involvement yet. So Grace managed to dig that info up too, huh? No sense worrying about how. We've got our own job to take care of. Dorothy Hyatt is the Liberal News Service's photojournalist extraordinaire. Her photos are both remarkably vivid and captivating beyond relief. As a photographer myself, I'd love the opportunity to speak with her someday. I guess I could try going to the LNS's head office next time I'm in Liberl. It's a pretty short airship ride from Rouen to Grand Cell, after all. By the way, Notisha, could I ask you to deliver a message for me the next time you run into Niall? Tell him Grace says, congrats on the Pulitzer. Once I win mine, we can post them together. Oh yeah, I do remember hearing that the two of you knew each other. All right, I'll make sure to pass it along. Interesting. Very interesting. Hello. This trade conference truly is extraordinary. I've never covered anything like this before. Conferences between any 2 of these countries aren't uncommon, but between Crossbell and its 4 neighboring nations, that's unheard of. Not to mention both Chancellor Osborne and President Rocksmith are attending in person, rather than setting surrogates. This is essentially the first time these 2 men have ever met face to face. Talk about history in the making. It's unprecedented to say the least. Reporters from every participating nation have gathered for the sake of covering this day, you and your Imperial Chronicle colleagues included. I haven't heard too many positive remarks about the Crossbell police in the past. However, seeing how tight the building's security is, I'm getting the exact opposite impression today. The only conclusion I can come to is the CPD's shortcomings are a result of their structure, not their people. Look at you. What a nice reporter lady. I'm Thompson from the Ardent Press. A pleasure to meet you. You're a photographer with the Tyrell Times, if I'm not mistaken. That's right, but I'm still only a rookie. You said Ardent Press, right? That'd mean you're from Remiferia? We may be from different countries, but we're not competitors today. I'm looking forward to working with you. Likewise, here's hoping we all get the story we're looking for. That's right, on clear days, you can see it's standing tall in the distance. I should have spoken to him first, I'm seeing. Her response is in answer to his statement. As a matter of fact, it's actually given Altair's tourism industry a slight boost, almost as if it's a secondhand trademark. Landmark. Already, Orcus Tower is impacting the economies of multiple countries at once. I must admit, Orcus Tower is an absolutely remarkable building. Remiferia is, of course, too far away to spot it, but I believe you can pick it out quite clearly over from Altair. Really? It's only 40 floors. It's not that tall. Where am I going? Yo. I saw Vice Commissioner Pierre muttering to himself earlier. I hope he's all right. I'm a little worried about him, to be honest. Interesting. This is the stairway. Okay. Wait, did that have a... The shutter to the emergency stairwell is sealed tight. This is the way to the 33rd floor. We were told it would be sealed during the conference, if you'll recall. I believe this shutter's locking mechanism is controlled via the Orbital network. Remember what the mayor said, though. There's no such thing as a foolproof security system. We'd better keep that in mind just in case. Okay. Hello, vending machine. Give me one of these for just in case. I can't believe that woman would... No, I'm sure of it this time. Who's he mumbling about? Excuse us, Vice Commissioner Pierre. What? The face on his sprite is so funny. The special support section. Oh, joy. Well, can I help you? If I may ask, Vice Commissioner, what are you doing here? Tia, you can't just... Oh, nothing. Nothing except my job as director of the security command room. Since when? Come to think of it, I do recall seeing your name sprinkled around in some of our materials. Ah, I see. I never read those, hence my confusion. You what? Here we go. We probably should have mentioned this to all of you sooner. Whoops. One question. If you're the head of security, why are you in here instead of the command room? Taking a little break? Please, Dudley has full authority while we're here on site. With my permission, of course. So you see, there's no reason for me to be in the command room. Too many leaders spoil the group, as it were. Think of it however you like. As your superior, I know what is best for the operation. And now then, you six just focus on not getting in Dudley's way. Yes, sir. By the way, Vice Commissioner, could I ask what woman you were referring to just now? I'm curious too. Is it someone we should be wary about? Why would my wife be... I mean, mind your own business. It's got nothing to do with you. I'll get back to work. Go on. Yes, sir. Understood. All of that was about his old lady. Perhaps the tight leash she has him on is beginning to chafe. Whatever the case, I think he'd appreciate us keeping quiet about this. Every single time. Even I know I could. He's really worrying about his wife at a time like this. Understood, we'll get right to it. Listen up, there's a press conference scheduled during the intermission. Make sure everything is in order on the double. So this is where they put the lunch boxes. Finally, I can grab a bite to eat. Okay, so I think I only have the command room left. Did I go in all of these? No, I didn't.